Hey guys, I told you that I would give you a video to help you out with problem number 1 and 2 on your homework, and hopefully this helps you with the other 4 problems. Go ahead, make sure you subscribe and click like, because if you do, then I know you use this to help you on your homework. So let's read through problem number 1. 1. Mr. Jenkins buys a hat for $18 and a coat for $63. He has a coupon that allows him to get 15% off the total cost. He pays with 4 $20 bills. How much change should he receive in dollars? So the biggest thing here is that this is a big multi-step question. But the real question is, how much change should he receive? So don't just stop at the 15% off. Yes, we need to find that, but then we need to not only figure out how much he's going to spend, but then how much change. So to start, we need to figure out how much he originally would have spent if he wasn't getting any savings. So we need to add $63 and $18. And that is not working for me for some reason. There we go. And that's going to give you $81. So if there was no sale, they would have spent $81. That's your total amount. That's your original amount. So we're going to now stick this into a percent proportion to figure out this 15% savings. I know in a percent proportion I need 100, and I have my percentage, so that's 1,500 over 100 because it's 15%. And some of you guys were confused about where to put the 81. So this is 15% savings. Are they saving $81? No. So you would not place $81 as what they are saving. And that's what happens if you put it on top. Instead, you're going to say the original cost, what they should have paid, was $81. So that is actually your total. And what we don't know is how much we will be saving. So when you solve this proportion, I would definitely use cross product on this. And today we were using calculators in class. So once you do your cross product or pop this in your calculator for this homework only, then you will know that the savings would be $12.15. The problem is a lot of you guys wanted to put this as your answer, and it is not. This is telling me what I am saving from a 15% off coupon. So it's not even telling me the price that I would actually pay. So now we're gonna continue this multi-step question. So this multi-step question, we have to figure out how much we would actually spend in order to figure out our change. So to do that, you have to do your $81 that you originally would have had to spend minus the $12.15 that you now get to save because of your 15% off coupon. Some students were having trouble with this borrowing. You have to make sure you're really careful with it. So we have 9, then I'm just going to continue the borrowing here. This is going to be a 7 and this is going to be 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 1 is 8. I had so many of you guys put 7 right here, but that becomes 10, not 11, because you had to borrow it for the 0 before it. So this actually becomes an 8, and then 7 minus 1 is 6. So this is still not done. I know we're feeling a little crazy here. So the first thing we had to do was figure out how much would it have originally been. Then what is going to be saved from 15% off. And now this is telling us, okay, this is what I would have had to pay, what I owe the store. And last, I'm going to figure out my change. They even throw in a secret little guy right here saying that you're going to pay with 4 $20 bills. Well, $20 bills times 4 is going to give you $80. So you're giving the cashier $80, but you really only owe her $68.85. So our very last step here, we're almost done, is to do the $80 that you gave her minus the $68.85 that you now have. Okay, so when I subtract this again, this is some mega borrowing. This brings back our decimal operation. So you have 10 minus 5 is 5, 1. Bring your decimal down. You have another 1 and a 1. So you are going to get $11.15 in change. And that's what you should write because it does ask you to use a complete sentence. So a great complete sentence here would be she would receive $11.15 change, and that would be fine. Okay, let's look at the next question. So question number 2. Question number 2 says, Ella and her family normally pay $165 per month for electricity. The utility company adds a 5% tax to each monthly statement. How much tax will the family pay for the entire year? Something that you need to be careful about is reading this super carefully. So it says she pays $165 per month, but then the question asks the tax for the entire year. So that's something you're going to need to come back and make sure that you're listening to. But the first thing we just need to do is figure out this 5%, and then we can look at the rest of it. I'm going to use a percent proportion here. I know that the 5 is going to go over 100, so that's not my hard part. But what is hard and what students had trouble with here is actually figuring out what goes here. Is this going to be 165 up here, or is it going to be 165 down here? Well, let's think about what it's saying. It's saying her bill, the entire bill, was $165. And this 5% is representing the tax only. So this is the tax. Well, if our percentage is the tax, then this part should be the tax. So if it's not the tax, then we're not doing it quite right. And this $165 is actually the total bill. That's what she's paying completely for electricity. So we know that that's not tax. So it doesn't actually go as the part. And that does help us out with the whole bill. So we're trying to figure out what is the part. What is the tax that I'm going to pay? So when you solve this, a good idea would be to use cross product here. All right. And when you do, you should get that x equals, and pause the video because you should be figuring this out on your own, but feel free. I did let you use a calculator in class. You can use it again. X equals $8.25, and that is dollars. So $8.25 is the tax because it was 5% tax on 165. Now let's go back and make sure we answered the question. How much tax will her family pay for a year? We haven't done that. We've only talked about a month. So now we need to do a year. Well, you're doing $8.25 every single month. So you need to figure out how many months there are in a year. There are 12. So you're going to do this 12 times. So you need to make sure you multiply this by 12. And if you do, you should get $99. So the right answer here is that for the entire year, they will pay $99 in taxes for their electricity bill. That would be a good way to write your full sentence. She paid $99 in taxes for her electricity bill for the entire year. You should add that it was for a year in this. I hope this was helpful. I know it's a little long, but this is for those of you that hopefully were a little confused. These are multi-step questions, but take your time on them. Make sure you're answering what the question wants. Again, make sure you like this video so I know that you used it to help you on your homework. Have a great night. See you tomorrow. Bye.